Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. Well, here we are. We're already well into the 2028 presidential campaign. I know we're not even a year into Trump's term, and we already have all the posturing out there by the Democrats, at least, as to who's going to run against J.D. Vance or Ron DeSantis, probably, in 2028. It's hilarious listening to the cast of clowns that's running. It's like, oh, AOC is going to be our presidential candidate. Mark Kelly out yesterday. Kamala Harris has got my vote for 2028. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are really scraping the bottom of the barrel. But as bad as those two idiots are, Gavin Newsom has got to be the biggest clown of them all. Okay? When somebody asks you what your accomplishments are as a head administrator, governor of California, and you go, well, see, my state has the highest taxes, the highest deficits, the highest gas prices, the highest unemployment, and the highest homelessness. Look how great I'm doing. And that's your resume to go, okay, I'm going to sit in the White House. I swear the Republicans are just going like this. It's like, okay, unless you pull a rabbit out of your hat like you did with Barack Obama 20 years ago, nearly. Yeah, I'm thinking it's Slaughter City here. And the funny part is he only makes it worse. It's no secret to anybody that 2/3 of the guns in the world are owned by U.S. citizens. Or maybe let's put it this way, people in the United States, because God knows how many are in the hands of Joe's illegal crew. But yeah. And we know that the AR-15 is one of the most popular weapons in the country. I mean, if you want to do a number here, 5% of the people in the United States own an AR-15. 1 out of every 20 people owns an AR-15. Then there's some of us who own multiples, but that's a different animal. But an AR-15 isn't exactly convenient to walk around town with. You're not going to go to the grocery store with an AR-15 strapped over your back. You could, but that might get a eyeball or two on you. Maybe stop for a question or something. So most people that can, I guess if you will, depending on some of the idiotic state laws that blatantly violate the Second Amendment, carry a handgun, right? And one of the most popular handguns in the United States, or one of the most serious, I guess, of them, is made by GLOCK, okay? Quality weapon. It's at good price. I mean, they've got a whole litany of different weapons, so they make a quality weapon, no matter what style, what model you're getting. Quality weapon, reasonable price, good. A lot of people like them. Some people like something different. Me, for example, I don't own any GLOCKs, okay? But don't have any problem with them. It's just not my choice, if you will. But that's the point. My choice. Now, we're all familiar with, at this point, the term a GLOCK switch, right? That, oh my God, it's something that you can put on the rear, on the slide in the rear that will turn the semi-automatic pistol into a fully automatic pistol. Those are extremely illegal, okay? There's a lot of things in this country that are illegal but are still out there, okay? It's like I've said millions of times, crime will always be one step ahead of the law. It's just simple, okay? Criminals don't go, oh, gee, you know what, they stopped. They won't let me do this anymore, so I'm not going to. They wouldn't be criminals otherwise. Gee, drugs are illegal. I guess we'll stop manufacturing them, right, cartels? Okay, you get my point. Okay, so you can't have a GLOCK switch. No problem. You can't drink and drive. Doesn't stop people from doing it, okay? But can't do it. Now, Gavin Newsom, the clown of California, has now signed into law in California the Responsible Gun Manufacturing Act, Assembly Bill 1127. And this is where we're going to campaign on, right? Look, I took guns away from the American people. He's not making a GLOCK switch illegal. He's making GLOCKs illegal. The entire company. GLOCK sells about 500,000 handguns a year in the United States. California just said, you're not allowed to own one here. Why? Because the weapon is potentially capable of being converted into a fully automatic weapon. Fully automatic weapon is totally illegal. Well, for a lot of people, you can have one, lots of money, lots of paperwork, yada, yada, yada. Okay, to get my point. Okay, GLOCK switches are illegal. So by his same logic, using my comments before, we should expect Gavin Newsom to ban cars, right? Because, hey, a drunk person could get into a car. Therefore, we've got to stop drunk driving. It's the same principle, the same logic. This is the idiocy that we get into of it's the person, not the tool, that is the problem. Okay? There are plenty of GLOCKs in California and Wyoming and Missouri that sit in the nightstand or walk around in somebody's pocket that never do any damage to anybody else. They must be the good ones, that, of course, California got the Christine, the old movie, the Christine of GLOCKs must be, the gun that is possessed, that could do it all on its own, I guess. Okay. The logic fails the sniff test. The ruling fails the Second Amendment test. It also fails the test on being able to do business in the United States. But, of course, Gavin Newsom doesn't believe in capitalism. So, of course, we got to do it. I mean, this goes back. You think about what he's trying to do. Remember the days when you couldn't buy Coors beer east of the Mississippi? Remember Smokey and the Bandit movie? Okay. It's the same idea. Not for the same reasons, but no, we're just going to ban this company from doing business in this area. Please tell me what company in this country is banned from doing business in a particular state. This won't pass a court forever. And as the California Assembly goes, well, we're going to make it a law. So therefore, it doesn't matter. When we make the laws, the court is to interpret the laws. Oh, okay. So in California, you don't have any activist judges? Is that what you're trying to tell me? That try to rewrite the laws themselves? Okay, I'll buy that one, along with some oceanfront property in Arizona. But this is what Gavin Newsom is coming up with. This is the kind of crap that we have to look forward to under any sort of Democrat leadership, right? This is going all the way out to 2028. California's going to have to deal with it now, but damn well he's going to try to pull all this stuff if by some freak of nature the public elected him president, which there's a rat's ass chance in hell of that. You'd hope. But This kind of goes into the stuff that the Democrat Party wants. You know, again, the party of liars and thieves. We're still in the middle of the Schumer shutdown, yet the Democrats are all over the media saying the Republicans need to open the government. Well, they're trying one of two things, either to gaslight the American public or they're trying to set themselves up and get John Thune to use the nuclear option. They just lie over and over and over again. To say that it's the gun's fault tells you how much of a mental midget Gavin Newsom is. It doesn't matter if it's a Glock. It doesn't matter if it's a Smith & Wesson. It doesn't matter if it's a Kimber. I don't care. If somebody wants to convert something, they'll figure out how to do it. Why do they go after Glocks? Why did the people that came up the switch in the first place go after it? I don't know. Maybe for the fact that 500,000 of them are manufactured in the United States every year. And so it was the most popular one to do it with. You know, they're not going to go create something that 12 guns are sold a year. Nope, doesn't work that way. If the guys want to, they'll figure out how to do it somewhere else. That's how the criminals work. We need to stop trying to make laws that are unenforceable and start enforcing the laws that are already on the books. You want criminals not to have guns? Don't worry about getting rid of the guns. How about getting rid of the criminals? What a concept. Pinball out.